Well, bonjour, guten tag, and a big ol' howdy do. Welcome back to Pathologic, the Changeling. Um, it's been about a week since I last played, but from what I recall, and I recall very well, I'm brilliant at recalling me, that's what they say about me. Canonically, that's like engraved on my headstone, not that I'm dead yet, but you know what I mean. Eventually it will be. Um, Joe, he was really good at recalling things. Um, I no longer recall what I was saying, however, because I just went off on a stupid fucking tangent. Yes, new day, day two. It's about 7 o'clock, give or take. And I'm hoping our good friend here is going to have something interesting to say to me.
My strength will
Something like
complement
this.
her weakness. It's time for our family to shine.
I spent the night in thought and recollection, trying to trace the logic of the supernatural retribution that has befallen our community. It has been revealed to my wife that there is a creature among us. Nope. It's not funny. It's not funny just to see the words among us. It's not. Who is to blame for all that is happening? I've gone through a list of possible suspects. I have it here in front of me. Every one of these people could turn out to be the criminal, the one that has brought this disaster down upon us. How did you pick those people? For years I've been keeping order in this town and looking out for possible criminals. I trust my clairvoyant wife's judgment. Even that trust, however, I would have thought unduly partial, but for seeing my hypothesis confirmed by her rival mistresses. The rival mistresses have acknowledged it already. Scarlet Nina mentioned it not long before her tragic demise. Victoria once said that if an abyss were to open up one day and swallow our town, it would all happen this way. Why do you need to know this? So you used to check on what Katerina said against their opinions? Are you afraid she may be mistaken? I only want one thing, and that is justice. This is a case where we can dispense with evidence and trials. When the last dawn is rising above the world, it is time for arguments of a different nature. A trial resting on conscience, and a verdict resting on faith. Find the culprit for us. It is why you've come into this world and into our house. The town of the house of the town of the house. The town's rulers. Ooh, I can either call him ruler or father, and I'm going to go for the way that endears myself to him more, I think. But how am I supposed to do it, father? I can call you that now, right? First of all, you must gain the trust of the person I believe to be the criminal responsible for this. Anyone would find the task complicated and demanding except for you, since all you have to do is predict the slightest movement of their soul. Do something for them. Raise their spirits. Astonish them. Surely you can. Yes, people like me, and even the most hardened criminals trust me, but mere trust is not enough to get a criminal to make such a terrible and damning confession. Yes, you will lure them with your words, then make them answer your questions and see if they are guilty. My wife is positive that if you first win a person's favourable disposition and then astonish them, you will succeed. They must not be able to avoid your thrall, for you are destiny. Oh, so Katerina told him what I can do. Or did I tell him what I can do? I can't remember anymore. I think I only told Katerina, right? This is true. Sometimes the precision of your definition scares me, Father. I will trust you. All I want to know is who brought the deadly disease upon our homes and our heads. Even the basest of scoundrels will suffer nothing at my hands if they are not guilty of our present predicament. So who should I begin with? A mysterious creature named Asperty will, I am sure, be the best start. Children say she is an evil spirit. Simon didn't like her. That bitch has been... Steady on. That bitch has been called a walking plague even before this. I'm sure that a woman, a man-eater, and a spawn of the steppe, which is exactly what a shabnak is a fitting description for her. How do I make her reveal herself after I've gained her trust? Who can tell me something about her that she'd be surprised to hear? Right, you don't know anybody here. The shortest way is via the Oglimskis. Ask Vlad the Younger, Oglimski's son. The Oglimskis must have old scores to settle with her. Besides, Vlad the Younger is knowledgeable about the legends and traditions of the steppe people. He will instruct you. Yes, father. I'll do my duty. I know where Vlad the Younger lives. Very familiar with wee Vlad. With mini-me Vlad. He's a very cool guy, and I can't wait to have a little chitter-chat with him. First of all, though, I want to speak with Katerina just because she's, also a fairly prominent character in the Changeling campaign by the sounds of things, so she might have something to add.
Matchmakers are coming, trying to woo me.
Now I shall speak to you of the higher causes of the unfolding disaster. Like roots, they are invisible to the eye. When one plucks a weed, one removes merely the consequence, not the underlying cause. You are the only one capable of a true victory, and that is why I'm going to tell you about the roots. So listen. I'm listening. These are our parties. The first thing, the original creation, was the earth, the ancient one, giving life to plants and animals. She begat the abattoir, she begat the kin. She gives and she takes. The dead go into her. Everything ends with her. She is the inception and the completion. Such is law. We, the Sabarovs, act in the interests of the law, by which everyone must abide. Ours is a faith of humility. A wise faith. A town sprang up inside the earth, or upon it indeed. A town of men was built upon her, the earth eternal, the giver of life, built by greed and creativity, by ingenuity and hard work. The abattoir found its continuation in the works and the railway. The hands of the Olgimskis crafted an environment in which people could develop and reflect. Theirs is a faith of construction. This is actually really interesting to get a more thorough sort of history of the town, because we've never had this before. We just have always had to accept things are the way they are because that's the way they are, and I'm sure that's going to continue to be the case largely, but it's nice to just have a little bit of concrete backstory to base on. Speak on. Finally, the minds of people desiring to overcome the limits set for human beings by their nature and condition engendered projects that were fantastic and audacious. Some big words in that sentence, sorry about that. That was how the party of creativity and invention emerged and flourished. The party of the Canes. Theirs is a faith of utopia, a belief in miracles, a belief in a non-existent place. A weird faith. I foresee myself knowing why this punishment has befallen us. The town lived, grew, developed, and finally tried to break free of its own limitations. The earth that had borne it hit it on its head. The earth that had borne it hit it on. Yeah, that's what it said. Which it had struck out to what? Oh, it stuck. It stuck its head out too far, and the earth gave it a little donk. I understand. Much like the strict mother would do to her unthinking child. Be unthinking after you twatted it on the head, I'll tell you that much. No mother would hit her child so hard as to kill it. Why, the town will live. Who is to live in it, the earth cares not, even if we do. The mother is not concerned with the germs in her child's body until they make it ill. They are beneficial and harmful germs. When the child is ill, the mother gives it medicine to drink in order to purge the harmful ones. Now I understand. You will speak to those bound to you about the truth of humility. You are to convince one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them of the true faith's wisdom. Should some of them prove stubborn, you will use the powers that were granted to you by Providence herself. What happens to them afterwards? Do I convert them? The evil will not touch them. You will see for it yourself. They will become invulnerable to the scythe that will cut down the brazen, the blind, and the bellicose. Save them. Alright. You will begin with Grace, the late cemetery caretaker's daughter. She is especially dear to me. With Grace? Doesn't she sympathize with you, with us? I want to be certain of that. Make friends with her. Try to make her like you and grow an affection for you eventually. You don't need much for this. All you need to do is find out more about her. Lara Ravel is the person who will tell you about Grace. She is as much of an angel as She is as much an angel of kindness as the poor daughter of the caretaker, and her father has recently died too. I trust you, Katerina. What you're saying is wise and true. That conversation was a bit of a mouthful, but I got through it eventually, so, little mini round of applause for me, please, little celebrate the small victories. Interesting that we've got one parent figure telling us to sort of hunt down the bad guy, you know, to go out and find out more about the people in the town, specifically to uncover who is the one who brought the disease here. And another parent figure who is, you know, completely against that sentiment, in that she understands that it was no singular person to blame here. It's the earth itself wanting to cleanse the town of its bad, in a sort of like Noah's Ark sort of, you know, biblical flooding sort of style purge of the unclean, you know. But she also wants me to go out and speak to the people of the town, you know, get a little grip to people, because she wants to save them, not to point the finger at them. It's sort of two sides of the same coin in a way, you know. Immediate juxtaposition between the two characters, and I quite like it. We are right by Lara's house, but yeah, I'll just real quick just loot these bins if you don't mind. Just want to make sure there's nothing really cool in here. Well, that was disappointing, to say the least. Yeah, I'm not angry. I'm not angry, Pathologic. I'm just simply disappointed in you. I think you could have done better, and I think you're worth more, honestly, than the pitiful offerings that you bring before me. But I'll take them, I suppose. I'll take them.
Seems like Olgimsky is getting ready to face profiteering.
You have a weirdly good voice actress compared to the others. I just want to point that out. We'll prepare for the hard times. I hope they don't last long. Lara, tell me about Grace. You know her, don't you? What makes you think I do? You're both kind souls, almost blessed fools. Just like me, I suppose. I sense people who are like that. Why would you put it like that? A kind soul is not the same as a kind person. You're crafty, after all. You seem to say perfectly good things, but they're actually quite backhanded. You've probably got something like that in store for Grace too, don't you? Lara, you're not listening to me at all. I barely know Grace, we haven't spoken a lot. Do you want to make friends with her? Of course I do. If you want to make a good impression on Grace, bring her some flowers, bread and milk for the dead. She'll be elated and do anything for you. That's simple. And what do I give Grace herself? She doesn't need anything. With people like Grace and me, it's the good done to one's neighbour that matters. I thought you understood that. I do, it's called selflessness. Did you have something else to say there?
Clemency is born not of virtue, but rather of fear.
So you've come because you found out that we're setting up a shelter. Do you want to take part? It's strictly private, though, and I've never seen you before. We literally spoke 2 seconds ago, but okay. Why? I do want to take part. Do I have to donate some money? No, you can't. The harpist wouldn't let me. I have a rule. No one has refused hospitality at this house if they're an honest and honourable person. But the harpist says we can't abide by this rule in a time of epidemic, or else the undertaking will be pointless. Yeah, who the fuck's the harpist? The harpist is a friend. Just a friend and nothing more. It's not like he gives me orders, but this time I'm trusting his judgment. He's practical, strong-willed and resolute. And I'm a bit of a gawk. I don't have a lot of guts either. That's why I listen to him on this. I'd like to help you too, but I'm not what you'd call practical. I'm not prepared to put you in charge of supplies for the House of the Living, but there is a way you can help. The harpist has gone off to take a look at an empty house. Oh, it's the bachelor, okay. And hasn't come back yet. If he's still there, tell him to come back here as soon as possible. I can't keep up without him. Just that. Your trust seems easy to earn. Not as easy as that, but if you do a good deed seeking no gain, it will at least be clear that you're not one of the Shabnaka deer. A demon cannot do good. Then I'll be able to rely on you instead of the bachelor, who I dislike. What? So the harpist isn't the bachelor? I feel that he'll do with that money as he sees fit. We're less than human as far as he's concerned. Won't it make him cross with me? It's up to you. Either you want to become a keeper of the House of the Living, or you don't. I can't spend the money anyway without the harpist's approval. Fine, I'll find this harpist of yours. Oh. Relatively nearby, actually. Cool. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do a little side quest on my journey. I needed milk. I think I've got bread, right? Yeah, I stole some bread. Milk's relatively cheap, and I might have flowers already. Yeah, I do have flowers already as well, so that's going to be quite easy to do. As long as I can just buy some milk, I guess. Might have to get lucky with that one, but we'll see. I know prices were very expensive yesterday. Also, my hunger is quite high. I should probably do something about that instead of just looking at my rations. Let's eat one of my breads and a bit of meat. Should keep me satiated for the time being. Brilliant bins, these. Top-notch bins. Never have I seen a better bin, in all honesty. I am here to buy food that I can't eat because I have to give it to someone. Oh, you don't have milk. You don't even remotely have milk. What? Oh, okay, yeah. So I can sell my bandages for like 500 a pop. How much do the tourniquets sell for? I might just sell all my tourniquets, actually. I need the money. Got a few lockpicks, so I can do a little bit of housebreaking, but even so, yeah, I don't think I need all these. I might regret this eventually, but for now... Yeah? Do I just do this for now? Do I need more food? I kinda need more food. Might buy both those breads. There we go. I've still got a bit of money left over, so I can still afford milk if and when I find an opportunity to buy it. But one thing at a time. Right. This is a food shop there on the way to Vlad the Younger's, but obviously we'll stop off at this harpist's place first. I wonder who it is. Is it going to be Barak? Like, you don't often see other people move around the city very much, is the thing. So it'll be strange if it's like another major character, but... Not completely unheard of, admittedly, but not usual. Let's put it that way. We've walked past the staircase we needed. That's pretty cool. Why would you make me do that? Why would you distract me with that glorious empty bin? Had such high hopes for that bin. These ones, though. These ones are going to pay dividends. Yeah, that makes up for all the time I've wasted looting empty bins. I got a single empty bottle. This will undoubtedly change everything. Let's just save before we go in this house, because bad things happen often in this game. Oh, we have to use a lockpick, really. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, it's plagued in here. Oh, why has it got to be plagued in here? Might as well. If I'm going to get horribly infected doing this quest, I might as well gain something from it. There may as well be some degree of reward for me. Why is this house so stinky anyway? Someone want to explain to me why this house is so stinky? Oh, hello. Are you the harpist? What unhealthy apparition is this? That's the correct term. Lucky you. You will live, I promise you. And why would you wander into a gloomy place like this one? You can see people have got nothing to do here. And yet you're stuck in here for some reason. Have you been here long? I'm doing a civic duty here. My name is the Harpist, and I'll furnish the House of the Living. But now I'm just watching. Look what happens when living matter comes into contact with those infectious miasma. I know very well what happens. Let's go, Laura's worried about you. But while I'm here... While I'm committed... To be fair, I've got less plagued from this than I expected. There was... Oh, okay, there's the second gas cloud. I was going to say, there's only one gas cloud. So So of course, it immediately proves me completely wrong on that. I was hoping maybe, you know, just maybe, that this was like a tutorial into the world of plague houses, and it would only have a singular glass claw. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can't help you. I need my stuff too much. I cannot avoid this gas cloud, can I? That's fine. It's actually not bumped my infection up too much. It's lowered my immunity to the shitter, but all that for a lemon as well. There was fucking nothing up here. Oh Christ. The fuck? Why are you here now?
Going outside should be prohibited. Special courier should be assigned.
What are you doing here? You've just been at Anna's place. Or are there several of you? Anna Angel? That was yesterday, my dude. Calm down. Go to hell, you and your jokes. Right. Let's sort this immunity right out. Pop a bandage as well. In fact, pop two. Fuck it, I'm feeling generous. That could have gone a lot worse. It could have done. In fact, I'll even save my minor success there, I suppose. Don't know why that's still marked on the map as like my quest objective. I've spoke to the harpist now. And presumably I succeeded in speaking to the harpist, considering it spawned the bachelor after I did it. Like, so I guess I just returned to Lara at some point, but we've got other things pressing on us at the moment. I wouldn't say necessarily priorities, but there's a lot to look into, you know. Asperty, I suppose, is one of them. I mean, I know, as someone who has played this game twice, that Asperty is... Yeah, I mean, she's tends to go against the wishes of the powers that be on a regular occasion. And by the powers that be, I mean, you know, the ruling families, not the characters called the powers that be. That was a bit misleading that I said that. But she's not really a bad person, and she's definitely not the one who brought the plague here, but, you know, I've been instructed to go and find out if she's the one who's the troublemaker, so that I shall do. Be a good little Clara. Do my due diligence. Why are all these empty? I know I looted, like, a bunch of this shit. I walked around just opening bins and killing knife men quite a lot in the last episode, but, like, it's daytime now. Should they not have restocked? Should they not have respawned? Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely misunderstanding how this entire mechanic works. But in fact, that's probably what's happening. Yeah, yeah, that's probably the case. I've just noticed there's big like milk jugs full of blood just outside Vlad the Younger's house, and that's a little bit concerning. I've never realised that about this fella before. You're a bit weird, Vlad.
Don't tell me that's not what you were expecting.
What, the milk jugs full of blood? Yeah, I can't say I was expecting that, honestly. Hang on, didn't you go down the well? How did you get back up here so quickly? I've never been here before. And who's down there in the well? Why are you lying to me? No, your tricks aren't going to baffle me. I have, after all, read a lot about you, creatures fashioned out of clay and bones. I know what's said about you in the Tale of the Daughters, and in the Baal-Midges too. Whoa, don't joke like that. I hereby solemnly declare that none of that refers to me.
Interest speaks all sorts of tongues and plays all kinds of characters, even that of disinterest.
I'm beginning to like you. When I look at you, I get the strange feeling that you're the closest person I have in the world. It's like a spell. And that's true, Vlad Ogimski. No one is closer to you than me. Oh, okay.
Haruspex did have the guts to accept his heritage in the end.
Did he? Okay, cool. What'd you tell me about Asperty then? You know who that is, right? How could I not? A most interesting person. So you've met her already. That was quick. What do you need her for? We're friends now, she and I. I saw this coming, just thinking about the consequences of your alliance sends shivers down my spine, so what now? I suppose your friend will tell you everything herself, especially considering your talents, or am I getting the wrong idea about the nuances of your cordial relationship? You hate her, don't you? She scares me, plain and simple. My father, on the other hand, truly hates her. The fact that she's still alive has made me reconsider how I feel about my father. It turns out he's much kinder than I thought. What makes you say that? She's the reason for all of the kin's riots and unrest. No one has ever harmed our family more. Sometimes I feel she's an evil spirit. She appeared suddenly, and then after one of the riots. At the time, my father had brutally crushed the revolting butchers, and it was then that he'd appointed Oyun as their foreman. Foreman, not farmer. Don't know where that came from. Is that so? Yes, and ever since then I've thought of her as a personification of the kin's defiance. I've even begun to confuse cause and consequence. Did she appear to avenge our cruelty, or are our provocations forcing my father's hand? It's become a vicious circle. So she's out to destroy your family, but is wiping out the kin instead? If we knew for sure that she's the one stirring up the worms, butchers and workmen, we'd make short work of her. Saburov would not object, nor would Judge Kane take a break from his indifference. But you see, I'm a sensible man, and deep down I'm convinced she's just an ordinary, dirty lowlife. Have you met her? Once. Her face left quite an impression, and so did her speech. That sing-song drawl, that guttural accent of the steppe. Fascinating. On a whole, she looked rather uncanny, but I thought back then it was just something she was doing for effect. My sister also thinks she's a vagabond girl obsessing over demonic dreams. Was it a long time ago? No, I saw her just a little while ago. Can't forget her eyes. Languid, but also very keen and intent. Sardonic. And before that, she used to act as if I didn't exist. She preferred to curse my father, threatening to ruin him. It's all really, really strange. What's so strange about it? You know what just occurred to me? She's already taken care of my father. What do you mean? Exactly that. Yes, yes. There's a reason things have been going the way they have. And that horrible thing at the termitary? Yeah, she's aimed a battering ram at him that will strike him down any time now. And now she's shifted her attention to me. That's what's happening. Should I warn him? I don't like this, but he's angry at me. I'll tell him what you said when I get the opportunity. Can I go down the well? No. I'm definitely going down that well at some point. At some point, I am going down there. I guarantee it. I know it. If there's one thing I predicted and continue to predict about this specific campaign, it's that I will be going down that well at some point. We will be clearing up what the fuck is going on with those bottom of the well tunnels that Vlad sort of watches over. I've already checked those two bins, but just in case, I had to know. I had to be sure, you know. There was a slightest chance, the merest percentile, that perhaps something could have spawned in them while I was talking to young Vlad. It's possible, alright? It's not impossible, at least. Well, it probably is, depending on how the game's coded, but I'm gonna stand by my beliefs, you know? Knowing boring things like facts, they're not helpful at all. What I need to do is just believe. Like, this is pathologic, right? It's all about faith.
Swine. Beasts. I shouldn't have indulged their whims.
Wrong door, girl. Victoria lives in the other wing of the house. I'm often told just that. Wrong door. People simply won't believe that I've come to them at long last. What, are you trying to be funny? Not in the slightest.
Lucky people are bad hands at correcting their faults. They always believe that they're right when fortune backs up their vice or folly.
What's this now? Bah, so skinny. I've come to warn you. You're in danger. What the... Who sent you? Was it Yaklak? Yaklak? Who's that? Hey, anyone in the hallway? Take this thing away. Look, you're in danger. Aspity has set a trap for you. You don't have to. I don't have to? But... I know who you are. You're the Saburov foundling. Move along. What, a foundling? Aspity, I'll crush her with a single stare, if I ever deigned her worthy of my notice. Crush her? Well, go ahead and try. And so it's money you want, you little informer. I can appreciate that, I really can. So take this for saving my life. I'll have a better look at her then. That's better. You'll appreciate me yet. 2,119 coins. Very cool. I still don't really feel like I found out enough about Aspity to justify, like, working my magic on him. I mean, the way it works, forgive me if I'm misremembering at this point, but the way it works is that I can make someone speak the truth if I tell them a secret about themselves that they don't know I know. Is that how it goes? I just clicked the wrong thing on this guy. There we go. I actually need some of these. In fact, I'll take fucking everything you got, pal, to be honest. Thank you. Yeah, so I suppose me telling Aspity that I know anything about her is, I guess, gonna catch her off guard, potentially, possibly, maybe? Maybe? Possibly? So I guess we can try that. Still need to find this milk, don't I? That's the other thing that's sort of hanging over me. Thankfully there is a food shop right here. So, you know, let's roll the dice. See if it's willing to pay up. Come on. Just a little bit of milk. Just a little tiny bottle of... Beautiful, thank you. Why do you have a bandage? This isn't the guy I just sold the bandage to, right? It's definitely not. It was a different shop. Why does he have the bandage? How strange. Whatever, I bought the milk. I got what I needed. I'm off. I'm gonna sneeze, oh shit. Beautiful, beautiful audio recording, this one. Absolutely pristine. There'll be nothing to cut out, I'm sure. Oh, that's staying in. That's staying in. I don't mute for no man. You're stuck with my sneeze, and that's that. Sneezing is an important facet of myself, my being, you know, and I need to get it all laid into the recording for posterity. I don't have enough water to trade you, my good friend, but God knows I tried. Did I open this? Yeah, I guess so. So, Aspity, Grace, and back to Lara, and I guess that's everything? Maybe? Maybe that's everything. I imagine at least 2 of these quests will have follow-ups. Maybe not Lara's, but the other 2 will probably have other people they want me to look into. Because it's never that simple, is it? It's never simple at all, it turns out, because sometimes you just can't get into the area you're trying to get into. How many hours have I spent in this game now, and I still don't know. I still can't remember the best routes to get from A to B. I'd like to say I'll get there eventually, but if it's not happened by now, it never will. You're just gonna have to accept that sometimes I'll just walk into a wall. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I just want to go embrace a dead end for a bit. You know how it is. Aspity, I've come to negotiate my way through a conversation with you. I'm sure it'll be fun.
No. There's no escape from here.
Okay. Ominous. You're insistent. Pushy even. If you're disowning our kinship, then why the friendly look? Aspity, oh Aspity, I know of you this. Clara darling, have you gone mental? Must be the local air. Happens to outsiders a lot. I'm no Aspity. I don't like the grinning she's doing right now. Stop the grinning. Please? Oh god, she's insane. Saba uspte. Look, that's enough. You're being obnoxious. Are you trying to bewitch me? Would you like to see me try that too? The way I do it with creatures like your little self? Careful, Clara, my child. You may go missing. Look, don't be cross. I just want to talk. I think I fucked it up.
Lies always turn out to be true. Don't mess with Earth.
Look, I need to talk to you. To confide in you, if you like. I don't trust you. Why bother to talk, We'd be better off together than each on our own. Quite the contrary, we'd be much better off on our own than together. Would you perhaps like me to do something for you? My game just minimized. As we were, would you perhaps like me to do something for you? What could I do to warm you up to me? Listen here, Nimble darling, if you really want to have a nice conversation with me, then bring me Barak. Know who that is? I see you do. I can't leave my house now, and he needs me badly. Uh-oh. You moron, it's not what you think. It's about life and his duty. I'm worried. He's being hunted. If you find him, tell him I've got the key to his destiny. He ought to hurry, time is of the essence. If he's in doubt, whisper one word to him. Inheritance. Fine, I'll do the whisper, but if I do find him, you owe me that conversation. Thing is, we spoke to Barak in Factory Building 4 earlier in this very campaign, which creates something of a paradox, because the inheritance that Asperty wants to give him is the key to Factory Building 4. So how the fuck was he in there? He broke in there early and is now waiting for someone to come bring him the keys so we can get in there, you know, all normal like. Surely he won't be in Factory Building 4 if I'm meant to be bringing him the keys to Factory Building 4. Like, surely not. Right? So where's he going to be? Where are we going to find Barak at this precise moment in time?
Bachelor is looking for a silent house. Are you sure you are safe?
You're so skinny. Your wrists are even thinner than mine. Yours are just transparent.
Yes?
Do you hear the metal things clinking on my chest? Those aren't keys or lockpicks, they're a special kind of hook. Look what I brought you, Grace. Ah, flowers. So beautiful too, thank you. How did you know? Those are exactly the ones I wanted to offer Farcard. He likes the colour red. Perhaps you're fond of them too? I am, Grace, and I'm fond of you too. I'm assuming Farcard's just some corpse she likes. And is there anything I could do for you? I'd be glad to, because just yesterday as I was looking at you, I thought I'd like to give you a hook. Do you really trust me just like that? Will you agree to talk to me? I trust you as I trust myself. I'm all ears, dear sister. Are you afraid, Grace? Very, very much so. Why? Because there's no escaping it now, and it's been coming to us from the steppe, getting closer, step by step. The dead felt her coming. She pierced the earth with her sharp bone stilts. Which reached them underground. No one will be spared. Do you know why it happened? No, but I'm afraid it's the punishment for our sins, for our faults and transgressions. Someone among us has angered the heavenly powers. It was bound to happen, with us being so brazen. So says Lazy Katerina. That's a new name now, that's what we're going with. Lazy Katerina. Exactly. I'm glad that your faith is firm. I promise you that as long as you can muster the strength to accept the divine will, nothing will hurt you. Dope. Quest complete. Conversation was rather awkward. I should go back to Katerina now. Was it? I thought we were both just being weird and mysterious at each other. Like, that's like normal for this game, right? That's just how we do things around here. I guess I'll try Factory 4 for Barak, since we're relatively close right now. Is that it? Just appearing out of the mists in front of me? I think it might be. I think it may well be. Oh no, I'm completely wrong here. I guess I'll check this building while I'm here, because this is another place he's been known to sort of hang out. Nope, not even a real door. Fair enough. Understandable. Just check these bins as well while I'm here. I'm getting really distracted from my task at hand, I'm not going to lie. But I need things. I have a considerable lack of things at the moment. More things would be very helpful right now. There's Factory 4. There it is. With another bin. I always forget to check this one. I don't think I've ever seen anything in it, so it concerns me that... Okay, well, never mind. Let's not continue that thought. Hey, Barack, are you in here?
These herb-gathering worms have little in common with men.
Okay. What's your business here? Aspity claims she's holding the key to your destiny. Go and see her. Who's Aspity? Ah, Saba O'Toole. That's the thing I should have said to her to get that thing to work. Oh well. You make mistakes sometimes. I can't remember all the terminology in this game. I've got a slight handle on a few of them, like Oyun and Shabnak, but like these ones are just too complex for me. Ah, so you don't know. She's a woman living in the kip on the edge of the earth. Some people call the place a hospice. An excellent recommendation. Nevertheless, I believed her at once. I'll visit this woman of yours. Show me where she lives. It's the only house with a cellar in the quarter which corners on the abattoir and runs adjacent to the cemetery. I'll see you later. Got things to do. The chimes wait for no man, and time beckons me onward. Still need to go back to Lara, she's fucking miles away. Katarina's not exactly close either, so I guess our next step is to return to Aspity and hope that Barack, you know, somehow beat me there and did his thing. Just because video game logic, you know, what did I just... Alexander is waiting. Daughter, for this is how we want to call you from now on, I am brought down by a heavy burden. Katarina is sick and she won't be able to perform the tasks of a mistress without your help. Much labour awaits you. We will let you run free, but be prepared that every single day either me or my wife will have an errand for you. Be at hand, with great expectations. Your loving father. Thanks, Dad. It's real cool of you. Can you imagine, like, adopting a child and literally the next day being like, right now, we've got some work for you to do. Since you're part of the family now. It sounds like the plot of like a... Honestly, it sounds like the plot of like a musical. Like, I wanted to say Little Orphan Annie, but I don't think that is actually the plot of Little Orphan Annie, but, you know, something like that, where there's like an evil couple who adopt a child for their own evil gains or something. Yeah, you know what I mean.
What's wrong with my eyes?
It's bad, is what I'm trying to say in all of this. It's bad. You're insistent, pushy even. If you're disowning our kinship, then why the friendly look? I've told him he will come. He's been here already. What did you want to talk about? Ask quickly. And you're not going to interrupt me? No, I'm not. Speak. Saba O'Toole, oh Saba O'Toole, I know of you this. Has she though? I don't think her greatest desire is to kill Vlad. And also, I've not seen anyone call her Saba. And I'm not convinced she incited the kin to riot either, although I think that's more likely than the Vlad thing. So I guess maybe this one, but not to my knowledge. Fuck it, we'll try it. Saba O'Toole, oh Saba O'Toole, I know of you this. You've fallen in love with this Barack. Will you agree to touch me, to brave the depths, to answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? What do you want to know? Who are you? I was born 5 years ago during the first outbreak. I'm a reminder. What? Okay, this I didn't know. This I did not know about Aspity. We're getting some dirt today. Are you the plague personified? I could be, but I haven't done anything recently, though I did organise that riot which got the infected Isidore in a bit of a pickle. Oh. The Shabnak Adir exists. Is it you? Which of us is the reason for everything? Which of us is a figurine with the clot of a living soul residing in her but for a while? Which of us is the true Shabnaka, dear? You'll see in the end. I'll be of service to you yet, Changeling. Spare me. Don't let your sister out. Don't let her take over. Why did you call me that? That is your great blessing. You're a thief now, having stolen the name and fate of another. Beware of the law. You'll live through your persecution and emerge triumphant. Maybe. I'll think it over.
Lies always turn.
Well. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I think it's very possible. I mean, I've said this before, that the Changelings campaign is obviously more centered on the mystical, on the fantastical, than either of the other two were, right? Like, obviously, like, both Dankovsky and Barak had some mystical elements to them, you know, like Ava killing herself and being a ghost who haunts the cathedral and all that was a big thing, and obviously understanding the true nature of the polyhedron and the Canes and their weird, like, transmorphic states they go through and everything like that. That was all pretty wild, but Dankovsky himself was a fairly grounded, like, character who just sort of got swept up in all that. And the same to a degree goes for Barak as well, even though he is a child of I was going to say a child of the steppe. He's just a child of here, right? He knows the ways of, like, the old rituals and all that. And obviously he had the whole thing go on with the foreman and the pit of whatever the fuck that was. So he himself obviously has innate ties to that, but he is also still a man of medicine at his core. The Changeling is something else entirely, and, like, I feel like a lot of stuff is going to come out during this campaign that I just never would have expected. I feel like stuff like Aspity just being like a weird incarnation of the previous plague is, like, just like scratching the surface of where this rabbit hole is going to go, you know. We'll see though. We'll see. I'm sure we'll have many more secrets to uncover though. It's nice that, like, here in my third playthrough I'm still, like, finding out new stuff that's making me go, huh. Just a little bit.
My strength will complement her weakness. It's time for our family to shine.
Let justice prevail. Mercy to the innocent, a reckoning to the guilty. I spoke with Aspity. I got inside her soul. I never doubted you would. What is in there? Nothing. She has no soul. What is your verdict then? Is she guilty? No, she isn't. Not good, so there's been no miracle. Are you angry, Father? On the other hand, I have suspected that it would be impossible to pinpoint the culprit at once. That tips the scale a little more against your twin sister. Beware, Clara, your reputation has taken a serious blow. The rabble does not distinguish between the two of you. All the same, she's not guilty. And there goes my reputation again. Thankfully it's still skirting above 50%, so hopefully I'll still be able to, like, go shopping occasionally. Hopefully, maybe. And obviously at night time we'll be able to wreck some fools with my magic fists and get myself a little bit more in line with where I'd like to be. Just hope it doesn't keep going down.
Matchmakers are coming, trying to woo me.
And so, my girl, I've spoken to Grace. And so? She believes and thinks the same way as we do. That is good. You have not, I hope, confused or disappointed her. No, I've only made her true faith firmer. Why am I coughing? Why am I coughing? I'm not diseased. I'm doing very well. What? Okay. Grace is with the humble ones now. In these days of terror, she'll be protected by the power of truth and no evil will be able to touch her. Hopefully that means she can't get plagued. That's interesting if that's true. Okay, I do need to return to Lara. You know what, I was going to say I'm going to wrap up here, but actually I'm not. I'm going to return to Lara. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just for you. Just for you, my beloved viewer. Special little bit of bonus content for you right here, watching me walk across town and talk to a person. I hope you're buckled in. This is going to be a non-stop thrill ride for sure. It's not that far to Lara's, to be fair. If it was like literally the other end of town, I might have wrapped up there, but I think we got time to fit this into our busy schedule, I think. And then once we've spoken to Lara, I think we'll be calling it a day, but I shall be back fairly soon. Not another fucking week of, well, me not being here, I guess. I wasn't out of town. I did say I was going to be out of town all week. I was actually only out of town a few days, but I had a few other things to attend to. I'm selling a house, if you must know. If you're going to drag that information out of me, I'm selling a house and I had to sort all that out. So it's been a bit hectic round in Casa di Joe recently, but...
Ruspex was offered 100,000 for his inheritance. He refused.
Huh. Crazy. He turned down 100,000 for a key to a place he's already in. Like, fucking idiot as far as I'm concerned. We'll prepare for the hard times. I hope they don't last long. So the harpist is back. Yes, and that house, I take it, is really infected. It is infected, Lara. You're going to have to set up your shelter here. Here, this is for your help. Take it, I won't need it anymore. So much. Thank you. And that, I believe, finishes my duties for the day. Next time, we'll probably sleep. We'll probably see if there's anything else to do. I don't know, this is the problem I have with Pathologic, is that sometimes you're rushed off your feet and sometimes you just got fucking nothing at all to do. Oh, hello. That's a nice early game find. Schmauder the First. And that is a brilliant ending point. I'll see you next time.